What's up? It's 5 a.m. I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Talk to me a little bit about like kind of discovering yourself as an artist and kind of like figuring out what lane you wanted to pursue as far as music goes.
And really just my life and just focusing on things going on and keying in on things that I might make mistakes in before on other songs or focusing on melodies, focusing on writing, focusing on lyrics, just things like that. And then also also learn how to cater to beats, you know what I'm saying? So like complementing the beats. That's why I really give a big ups to producers. So I use my voice as an instrument to complement their beats and stuff. Just trying to master all that.
And that that artist development process that you kind of went through to kind of figure out or discover your sound, um, how what one of the cool things about you is like that cadence that you kind of have, especially when you're going from like some kind of rapping to a little bit of singing to like even hitting some falsettos. Like, what was that discovery like for you, and how were you able to kind of make them marinate them together and have them sound so good the way that they do?
Like I said, bro, just really trial and error. And I worked with a great vocal coach named James,
Hmm.
and he really just taught me how to like use my voice, like I said, as an instrument. And learning that it's a muscle, so just to keep practicing, and it'll get better over time if you keep going.
Right. Right. So talk to me a little bit about Answer Me, the most recent single, and like the creative process behind this one. What really kickstarted this song in the first place?
Conversation, just me and the gang at the studio talking. A lot of the songs are based off of conversation. We wanted to go in the studio and every song be something that people can talk about because that's what they're going through as well. And that conversation just was about, sometimes you want your partner to kind of understand, like, yeah, we going through stuff, but just pick up for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not ignore each other because that doesn't fix the problem at all. That's really what that came from.
And it's cool that you mentioned that it kickstarts from a conversation, just because I kind of get that vibe from as far as like your storytelling goes. It doesn't sound like you're trying to like over exaggerate a picture. I feel like you're just naturally telling the listener about a certain story or a situation that you kind of went through. What is that writing process like for you?
Um, I just go in the studio, I go in the booth, and I let the beat talk to me. It's kind of like whatever first thing come to my mind, I just start talking about it. And at the end of the song, it just be like it all just makes sense. So normally I try to go in there like with a free mind, and then let the beat kind of tell me what's going on, and then because it kind of directs the mood. You know what I'm saying? Because I like all type of beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah.
Is it normal for you to always have a beat before you start writing music, or have you kind of started writing music before even listening to a beat?
When I was younger, I could write before the beat, but I kind of like hearing the beat first. It feels more for me. It feels more. I'm more comfortable doing it that way. I can
Hmm.
write before the beat and stuff like that, but I just like the beat better. I
Right.
like.
And what was that? What was the writing process for your new album? You're going to be fine, because again, like the storytelling is just incredible. I love that you have the like little interludes in between. Something that I haven't heard in such a long time. So like, what was that creative process for this album? And like, did you know what you were writing about the moment you picked up the pen and started writing, or did you kind of figure that out as you were starting to write new material for this record?
So for us, like me and the producers I work with, we do this on a daily basis. So it was really more so about what I had going on in my life at the time of recording the album. So um every session we start all beats from scratch, and then I just go in and just see what I could come up with, melodies, words. Like I said, we'll just have a conversation, things like that. It'll all just help the song come together. So like I actually don't pen anything, like so I just go on a freestyle.
Mm.
And I think that also helps keep my music to be real. It doesn't give me too much time to think about it. They're getting the first thought, so I really like
Right.
that way.
I feel like that also helps with getting the emotion that you're trying to emote, as you're kind of like singing or rapping about it.
Right. I agree.
So with the producers that you kind of worked with, like what's that chemistry like between the two of you, or between all of you? Like, and what was it about these producers or this producer that made you like comfortable to kind of work on this record with them?
Well, first off, they're all musically talented, so they care about their craft. They care about how they sound. They care about how they come in and present themselves. So all that with me coming in with how I do it, it just complemented itself. And actually, this is my first time meeting a lot of these producers as well. So right off the bat, they just kind of knew what I wanted. I knew what they wanted, and it just meshed. Um, Let me think. I know Romano. Me and him worked a lot on the project. B Grand. Who else? My guy Billy. He did like one or two songs on there. Benjamin. It's a few producers on there actually, and it was fun. It was fun.
And how would you feel like these producers kind of challenged you, whether it was like lyrically or vocally?
Um, it really was lyrically and vocally. I know I had to step it up. Like step out of my comfort zone, try new things, new melodies, new uh just knew everything, Um, one person, Melita, she really pushed me to like step it up, like what I'm saying, get out your comfort zone, actually go in there and think. Don't just, let it freeze. Just go in there and do what sounds good, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And with the various like ranges of your vocals that you kind of go throughout with these 11 tracks, like was there a particular track that you felt challenged because of the way that you kind of sung it, or certain notes that you had to, like, ranges that you had to hit?
I would say Pull Up. That was my most different record I've done before. And when
Mm.
I heard the beat, I just knew I had to do it. It was like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do it. The beat was just too hard, bro. So yeah, it would probably be Pull Up.
How did it challenge you though?
That was my first time doing like a swing uh type of beat. So it was like, first
Mm.
off, what kind of melody do I want to use? What do I want to talk about? Like where am I coming from for this song? So once I figured it out, it all came together.
And it's interesting that the music that you're creating, you're saying a lot of it is like more freestyle in the studio, because like, how do you kind of figure out your cadence as you're doing things freestyle?
Man, it's almost like it's just fun. I just keep trying
Mm.
different melodies and different ones, and I could come up with 10 for the hook and 10 for the verse. It's fun, So once I just catch one, it's like, okay, yeah, this one going. I stick to that one, and and also I got my gang, and they're like, yo, nah, that's it. So it's like,
Right.
no, if it ain't it, it ain't it. It's it, it's it.
How do you think this album kind of made you a better writer, or a better singer?
it I tapped in different places I never tapped in before. I was talking about my personal life a little bit more on this one. Like the intro, it has no drums in it, just guitar. So that was really
Mm.
personal. Um, Also one is called like, "Do Not Disturb." That one's like really personal for me too as well. Yeah, so yeah,
Do you feel like getting personal or vulnerable to your audience was something that you kind of had to learn to be okay with?
yeah, definitely. I think naturally I'm just a shy person. So music is kind of my escape from that. Like I could
Yeah.
really give myself by doing music, opposed to just like I don't know talking to it like with the average person every day.
So how'd you make yourself comfortable in order to kind of release or write a song like that?
I had to remember why I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? My
Mm.
family, my mom, my son, things like that. So just had to remember why I'm doing it and that I gotta get it done. Like if I want to be great, I gotta
Right.
practice.
And as you kind of mentioned, like family and a son, it's recent that you had your son, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
So like, how did that change the how did he impact the way that you create your music today? Like, how did that motivation kind of spike for you?
It just kicked everything to overdrive. What I was already doing, I gotta double it because I
Mm.
gotta make sure that my goal is to alleviate stress for the next generation. For my
Right.
son. So it's like for him, I just want to be able to the things that I had to worry about, he don't have to worry about, so he can focus on what he want to do in life. So that's really what he kicked me in overdrive.
That what is it about this album that you felt like it was important for you to release? Like, why did you feel these 11 tracks fit perfectly for this record?
Just, with everything going on, I think people need to hear that you're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of people stuck in their house, having no one to talk to. Mental health is a big thing for me. Like I lost friends. I see other people
Mm.
lost people. Like it shouldn't be no reason that people don't have anyone to talk to at all. Shouldn't be no reason. And so I also with my project want to give kids a chance to sit down with a therapist for free. You know what I'm saying? Like 20, 30 minutes, just talk to somebody. Like I
Yeah.
remember the other day I was at the gas station, and this lady literally stopped me. Like I was buying buying my chips and stuff, and she just started talking. And like as she was talking, I'm just realizing she probably had no one to talk to. She been wanting to get this
Yeah.
out to somebody for forever, and just think and stuff she was telling me was real. And I'm just like, people can't get that out. That eats you up inside, man. Like it's
Yeah,
not.
for sure.
So that's why this project is needed to me.
And while we're going through this, I know there's some artists that have had a hard time, being creative because of mental health, and there's been others that things are just flowing. What was that like for you throughout this year of creating music?
Um, I'll say like when first started, it was kind of hard because we
Mhm.
weren't able to go to the studio. But once we were able to kind of go to the studio, it kind of just it made it a little better, you know. But I think I think things will get better once we can start doing shows again, actually connect with the fans more.
Now you mentioned "Pull Up" being one of like the difficult tracks throughout this record. What was the biggest challenge for you to make this happen?
Hmm. I would probably say just trying to make sure I structure it right. You know, making sure it's a bop, making sure it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I said, the beat was there. The beat gonna
Mm.
do it. Like the beat is incredible. So I'm like, I gotta make sure I do my job. So that was pretty much the hard part. Once I got a niche for it, I'm like, just go where I'm going with it now.
Right. And
Yeah.
now that you got that little taste of that swing music like you did with Pull Up, like do you see yourself doing more stuff like that, or is there another type of beat or sound that you kind of want to challenge yourself with?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said on my project last year on 5A, the intro, I was like, you can't box me in. So that's how I feel. Like I could do whatever sound good, bro. Like as long as it sound good, I'm going for it. You know, I just like I love music, man. So I'm gonna drop a couple different projects with different sound, just just keep my fan interested and stuff like that.
Yeah. And as you kind of mentioned, 5A, to close us off, like,
Mhm.
what was it like collaborating with someone like TM88, and like how different is the chemistry that you had with him compared to the chemistry that you have with the producers for this album?
Right. Oh, it was a dream come true, bro. Like it's incredible. The shit, the stuff that we did was breathtaking, bro. Like we just created from scratch and stuff like that. It was beautiful. And other producers were involved as well. They did a great job connecting with him as well to make sure everything was just perfect, bro. Like I just can't wait for 588 too at this point.
Well, thank you for taking the time, man. Congratulations with this new record, and definitely feeling your vibe. I like. I'm glad that I recently got into you, but I'm glad that I did, because like this is like some new music that I definitely want to keep like on repeat.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, man.